Crooked Hillary posts carefully crafted tweet about Iran protests, gets pummeled by Trump supporter. By Christina Layla for thegatewaypundit.com. The people of Iran are once again rising up against the brutal Khamenei regime. There are reports of protests in every city. Brave, young, defiant women in Tehran are protesting against the hijab laws. Hillary Clinton posted a very carefully crafted tweet about the Iran protest, which of course prompted Trump supporters to pummel her. On Saturday, the regime mobilized the police and sent out anti-riot forces to crush the protests. President Trump warned the regime late Friday night, "The world is watching." Several women were left bloodied in the street. Iranian activist Ahmed Batebi posted this photo on Sunday. The brave Iranian woman's face was injured by government repressive forces in the #Iranian protests against the dictatorship and mullah's corrupt regime. Hillary Clinton decided to jump in because anytime she gets involved in things, they end well for freedom lovers, sure. Before you read Hillary's pathetic tweet, this was her reaction to Trump's rebuke of the Iran nuclear deal just this past October via the Washington Examiner. Hillary Clinton called President Trump's decision to disavow the Iran nuclear deal a major mistake, quote, and described the decision as part of an impulsive pattern that could prove to be dangerous. Clinton told BBC News in an interview that was taped on Friday that Trump's announcement that same day could lead to a very dangerous situation. Trump's decision on Friday means that Congress has 60 days whether to reimpose economic sanctions on Iran. There is no evidence that on the nuclear program Iran has cheated in the agreement that the UK and other powers entered into with Iran. She said basically for political reasons or for personal reasons, it's unclear which he is basically throwing open the door to Iran's nuclear program. One more time, I think that is very dangerous. Clinton's successor as Secretary of State under former President Barack Obama, John Kerry, led negotiations that resulted in the 2015 deal. Hillary tweeted, "The Iranian people, especially the young, are protesting for the freedom and future they deserve. I hope their government responds peacefully and supports their hopes." Really? There you go. Really, Hillary? How many assistants did it take for her to come up with that one? We all know Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama flooded Iran with billions of dollars and supported the nuke deal. Trump supporters responded. John Cardillo, "You mean the government state sponsor of terror that you and Obama gave nukes and billions of dollars to buy weapons? That government? That's the one you want to respond peacefully?" Patrick Albanese, on a positive note, Hillary's focus groups are working much faster these days. It used to take her weeks to come out with a poll-tested tweet. Now it only takes days for them to tell her what she thinks. Yeah, sure, Hillary. You're a real supporter of the Iranian people. That's why you're defending Obama's deal with the mullahs in October of 2017. Enjoy jail, you criminal. #Gitmo. As if you and your former buddy Obama did anything to help the Iranian people. In fact, you didn't help the American people. Think about it. The Russian uranium deal and the Iranian nuclear deal. What American is in their right mind even considers deals such as those? Absolutely. Really? Then why did you send Iran a pallet loaded with taxpayer cash? Did you write this BS by yourself, or you have a template and you just changing names and didn't realize it's Iran you're blabbering about? Unfortunately, you and former President #Obama turned a blind eye to the protests in Iran back in 2009 just because you were eager to sign a nuke deal with the mullahs. Had U.S. supported the Iranians back then, we might have had a free and secular Iran by now. #Iranian protest. We came, we saw, he died. #never Hillary. #make America great again. You and your pal Obama gave Iran the means for nukes. You are #one hypocrite. Now to show concern for the Iranian people. You created this monster. Oh, how I thank God every day you're not our president. Isn't that something? And then let's just switch gears and go to Obama here. Obama, this is a good one here. Take a look at this one. Obama elitist hacks get destroyed on Twitter after telling Trump to stay quiet on Iranian protests by Jim Hoft for the GatewayPundit.com. The Barack Obama administration actively assisted the evil Khamenei regime to crush the 2009 Green Rebellion. In 2009, tens of thousands of brave Iranian democracy protesters rose up against the brutal Khamenei regime after President Mahmoud, whoever, was announced the winner in a disputed national election. The protest quickly turned bloody when Iranian hardliners started firing on the protesters. One beautiful young protester was shot in the neck by the regime. We can't see that on YouTube. Her name was Neda Soltani. She was shot in the neck during a protest in Tehran on June 20th, 2009. After several days, the protest called out to President Obama, 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 are you with the regime or with us? But Obama did nothing. Instead, he worked with the evil regime to quash the rebellion. The past week, protesters took to the streets again in Iran to protest the evil, corrupt regime. Barack Obama Ambassador Susan Rice, former Secretary of State John Kerry are telling President Trump to be quiet. The Iranians are furious with the latest comments from Obama and his lackeys. Today, former Ambassador Susan Rice told President Trump to be quiet on the Iranian uprising. Iranian human rights activist Banafsheh Zan tore into Rice. How can Trump help Iran's protesters? Be quiet. Are you kidding me? The sheer stupidity and lack of shame of former Obama administration. No, Ambassador Rice, #Iranians have had it with you, collaborators and aides and abettors of #terrorists from gas bag Barack Obama administration. You got thousands more people killed unnecessarily. Now you shut the blank up and get lost, shameless slag. A marvelous roundup by my pal, Roger Simmons. Liberal humiliation at Real versus Barack Obama on the Iran thing. Liberal humiliation. Trump versus Obama on Iran. An activist Imperator Rex tore into John Kerry and Ben Rhodes after their pompous tweets on the Iranian rebellion. It's astonishing to me how you could tweet this garbage, Kerry. Hang your head in shame for how you, Obama, and the rest sold out the Iranian and American people while the mullahs held U.S. Navy personnel hostage. Your legacy is trash. History will remember you as a disgrace. Ben Rhodes, the Iranian people are rightfully demanding dignity, less corruption, more opportunity, and greater control over their lives. And looking at U.S. Twitter, it seems lost on too many that this is about what Iranians want for Iran and not about us. Okay. You and Obama deliberately lied to the American people, pushed through an unconstitutional deal with the mullahs that was designed to strengthen their power in Iran and the Middle East, as if you care about the Iranian people, you jerk. Number two, Obama officials say he pushed a narrative to media to sell the Iran nuclear deal, the Washington Post, May 6, 2016. That was the article where you were big-noting yourself about misrepresenting the Iran timeline in your narrative, aka fiction, aka lie, as part of the misinformation. 3, while Obama did his usual thing to push through this insane deal, trash the rule of law by illegally spying on domestic opponents of the Iran deal, allegedly spy on the pro-Israel Israel action. 4, not to mention trashing the Constitution. All you arrogant SOBs thought you were above such trivialities. Such was your arrogance, which I note remains as strong as ever. Want to know the truth, Ben? The mullahs played you guys. They played you brilliantly. You have them everything you gave them, actually everything they wanted and more, and they gave you nothing. That's because they saw you for the naive suckers you were. 6. So you go ahead and pat yourself on the back while admiring yourself in the mirror with delusions of grandeur, but lay off the pieties about being a friend of the Iranian people. They would despise you and Obama. Your best policy would be to keep your trap shut for once. The Iranians have heard enough from Barack Obama and his lackeys. Obama, you be quiet. The mainstream media pushed the narrative that it has to do, even the article that I read earlier, that it had to do with economics and things like such as that, but that's not the case. They want to be free from they don't want this regime to take hold because they don't want to live the way that basically the Muslims want them to live by, you know, with the hijabs and the and look at Susan Rice, and I'm glad that they called her out on that, because she's telling Trump to shut up when they told her to shut up. And they made a fool of John Kerry and Obama and Hillary, because they were actually giving these regimes a chance to implement that Sharia type, and the people don't want that. They don't want that. That's the case. It's not with the economics that they're saying, that they're talking about. And it's really disgraceful, but you can see a lot of things are coming out now, and believe me, there's more to come. This is not going to end at this point. So that's why they're calling out and look at John Kerry with humility about how little we know about what's happening inside Iran. This much is clear. It's an Iranian moment and not anyone else's, but the rights of people to protest peacefully and voice their aspirations are universal, and governments everywhere should respect that. You see what I'm saying? You see, and he calls him out, this garbage that Kerry he's talking trash. Hang your head in shame. I mean, really. Meanwhile, Obama was sending billions to them untraceable money, taxpayer dollars, to them to fund these people, these regimes. And Hillary Clinton involved and John Kerry involved in this. I mean, it is sickening. And now the people are rising up because they've had enough. They've had absolutely enough with them. And it's not going to end peacefully. And you can see that the regime doesn't want to let go of their power. That's for sure. And you have Susan Rice, who was pardoned. What did he say? McMaster said she had clearance. She should have been in jail for the FISA warrants and everything. She should have been in jail. But McMaster said no, she had security clearance. This other hypocrite over here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.